Well, global pop stars Styles and Michael Buble have been beaten in this week's ARIA album charts by a bunch of very unlikely Aussie icons. Yes, you heard it correctly. The calls and croaks of 58 endangered Aussie frogs have scored third place on the charts with their album Songs of Disappearance. Almost, excuse me for this, leapfrogging over Taylor Swift and Paul Kelly.
Don't excuse yourself, hey. You say that
I'm
with
ashamed
pride.
of that pun.
Pride. Well, the lead biologist who worked on the project, Dr. Jodie Riley, joins us now. Dr. Jodie, these are riveting sounds. I'm joining you, Haim. What's the vibe among the frogs? Do you think they can get to number one?
Oh, I would absolutely love it. To get frogs this far is spectacular, but yeah, I'm really hoping, and I wish I had a pun, hopping for number one.
Take us inside the studio. How did you sort of wrangle 58 frogs into the booth? You know, was there creative tensions? Are they fighting amongst themselves?
It was actually a lot harder than that. It was us going to the frogs. So myself, other frog biologists and people across Australia using the Frog ID app got out there and actually recorded the calls, usually in the middle of the night, sometimes in the rain, of these frogs calling, often in remote places. And so they've been sort of remastered and formed this amazing album.
This is the second album for endangered animals. What impact do the albums have on conservation efforts?
Well, it's mostly about getting frogs and birds on the agenda, making people fall in love with them. Frogs are a little tricky too because they tend to be out at night and kind of hard to see, but you can hear their calls. And so it's all about getting people to fall in love with them. You know, I was 18 when I first fell in love with frogs. It was pretty late in life. But once I actually saw these amazing creatures and realised how much trouble they were in, like that was it. You know, I've dedicated my life to frog conservation. So frogs need our help. We've already lost at least 4 species in Australia, probably many more. We've got 40 species that are threatened with extinction, and so we need an army of frog lovers across Australia to sort of join the fight to save them.
Dr. Jodie, the sounds that you've recorded, what are the frogs actually trying to say?
It's actually love songs. So it's male frogs singing their little hearts out to attract female frogs to come and mate with them. So yeah, love songs.
OK, that's a gentle way of putting it. Dr. Jodie, there's a pretty broad range of frog sounds on this album, ranging from someone puckering up for a giant kiss, that's what it's called, another deep mournful croaks of a long extinct species. How good are you at this stuff? Could you sort of do it at karaoke?
Oh, it's my speciality because many people think that frogs kind of just sound the same, and I'm not a great frog impersonator, but I'm willing to do it. And so, you know, one of my favourite and that's on this album is the eastern banjo frog, which is also called the pobble bonk, and that's sort of a big, sort of deep, sort of bonk. Bonk, you know, fantastic. Like, you get a lot of them going. It's a bit of a dance party. Or the common eastern froglet, which is on the track as well. It's quite common, but so altogether, it can be a relaxing or it can be like a really energising mix, depending on what species are together.
Hey, look, Dr. Jodie, we want this record to get to number one. I've got a couple of people above you, including Tay-Tay. Now, we don't want to start a war with the Swifties, but what do these frogs have that Taylor Swift doesn't? How do we get them there?
Well, Australia has 246 species of amazing frog. They need our help. The album's beautiful. It's relaxing. It's the kind of sounds we should hear in summer, and it's really amazing and haunting to hear the sounds of threatened and extinct species. So, yeah, we've got the backing of 246 species of frog against Tay-Tay. So, frogs for the win.
Dr. Jodie, if Australia can have just a touch of your passion, I think they'll get there. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
I did think Dr. Jodie's impersonations might be more authentic.
You're calling her out now? Come on.
Yeah.
Wow, OK.
Can you do that?
What are yours now?
Oh, whoa.
Well, you're going to... Just throwing...